Hey guys, Philip here with the InnerGeekZone.com, and recently I was fortunate enough to take part in a beta test for Tera, the upcoming MMO from In-Mass Entertainment. Now, of course, I shot video pretty much the entire time I played during the event, so we're going to go back and take a look at some of the classes that I was able to get my hands on and just kind of get a look at the overall feel of the game. Now, of course, Tera hangs its hat pretty heavily on its action combat, meaning it's not going to play like most other MMOs that you're going to be used to, in that you kind of tab target something and smash a bunch of buttons until it dies. That being said, you will still be smashing buttons a lot until something dies. But each ability that you use will have a certain range or arc in which it does damage, and you have to position yourself and make sure your target is within that area in order to do damage to it. At early levels, some classes definitely take better advantage of the action combat than others. The combat of the priest, shown here for example, consisted primarily of standing at maximum range, holding down the left mouse button for your single target attack until something died. As you can see, there's a frontal cone attack that doesn't really do a ton of damage and is almost useless single target, but I was just kind of throwing it in there to not just hold down the left mouse button. And before you say anything, real men wear pink robes. Now, I only played up till about level 6 or 7 on most of these tunes, so things may change a little bit after that, obviously. I didn't get very far into them. I think you were able to play up to level 32 in the beta, so I didn't go very far. I wanted to experience just kind of an overall feel for the game. And as you can tell here, just because the priest was a little dull doesn't mean that all casters were boring to play. The sorcerer shown here ended up being pretty much my favorite class in the entire beta event. She started out with pretty much one spammable fireball shooting ability, but it was cast with such power and ferocity, and the spell effects were just so awesome that it was just powerful to shoot things with it. And then she picked up an AoE, and she does her little gyration while she casts that, and who doesn't like that? The warrior was by far my second favorite class in the game, and played the most like I was really expecting the combat to play out, having no previous experience with the game when I first logged in. He's dual wielding swords, whirling them around, slaughtering everything in his path, leaping back and forth, dodging abilities, dodging from enemies to enemies, and just overall had the most action feel to him. He plays primarily as a DPS, but the official site says that a warrior can be played as a tank, and I'm assuming it would take some skill because you will, of course, have to play him as an evasion tank and be sure to, leap out of the way of damaging abilities and things like that. So it would take, quite a bit of skill and attention to play this guy as a tank in a group, but I can see where it could be done. Now, I'm not one to typically play as a furry, but there was just something about this little guy right here, and as far as the look of a character that I created over the weekend, he was probably my favorite. Something about that little furry bastard just swinging that giant axe was just kind of fun for me. And speaking of the giant axe he's carrying, if you'll notice, one of the nice details of the game is that when he puts the axe on his back, the handle shortens so that it doesn't drag into the ground, and then when he pulls his weapon out to use it, it extends, so he's got this giant long axe to use. It's just a small little detail, but it's the little details like that that can really help you stand out from the competition and really show that you truly are a AAA type game. Character creation is fairly well done and definitely meets the minimum requirements of what you would expect in character creation from a current MMO. There's nothing here that's just going to absolutely blow you away, but there's some nice looking stuff, and you can make a pretty neat looking character through the tools given to you. At first glance, I thought all I was going to be able to do is select from a few preset heads, and basically that was going to be it. But as you get a little further in, you get to start choosing the color of the skin, a few of the details that are kind of race dependent depending on which character you choose, and then finally you get to a few little sliders that lets you adjust some of the facial features. I didn't see any body sliders or any body type sliders, anything like that. So as of the time of this recording, no boob sliders, but fear not, there is still some beta events left to go, so those of you wanting a boob slider, May still get it eventually, but as of right now, there's not really any body style tweaks whatsoever. So overall, first impressions of the Tera beta. In-game, the graphics are absolutely gorgeous to look at. The visuals are great, the texture work is magnificent, and the spell effects do a really good job of kind of putting a lot of energy and power into the spells. The game's performance was stellar on my machine. The only time I really had any kind of lag issues was when I was trying to use fraps at absolute full screen resolution. Combat was a little bit of hit and miss, but again, I was playing characters very early in levels, so later on things might pick up, but there were still a couple of classes that definitely grabbed my attention and were exciting and fun to play, even though I was killing the exact same monsters and doing the exact same quests I had just done 3 or 4 different times on other characters. The only real downside that I've seen so far is that every quest I have done has been go and kill 10 of these and come back. Okay, now go kill 10 more of the exact same thing, but bring me something different from them this time. It is an Eastern MMO. It is imported to North America through En-Masse Entertainment, and it is looking like it's going to be very, very grindy. I've heard rumors that around level 20, your leveling almost comes to a complete screeching halt. I don't know that for myself, but we're going to find out during the next Tera beta event. During that one, I'm going to concentrate on 1 or 2 of my favorite characters and get them up to the max level available during the event and see everything that I can see as far as zones and character abilities and combat and things of that sort. The next beta event starts here in just a few days, so I'll have a more in-depth opinion and look at everything that the game has to offer. Now, I do have full recordings of every class and character that I played during this beta event here, and if you want to see those, just leave me a comment down below, and I'll be happy to put up a few little Let's Plays or whatever you want to call it, of running through the starting zone on a few different characters and go more in-depth to each race, class, and the quests and stuff that are available the first few levels of the game. But that's going to do it for now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And as always, you can check out our blog at theinnergeekzone.com and also check out MMOgamer.com and take a look at my articles about the Tera beta event. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Helping others is a delight.